Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and since I stream a lot of Overwatch, I thought maybe I should, maybe make a few videos on said Overwatch. So today, since I mainly play support, slash a bit more of tank recently because nobody wants to play tank, I decided to give you my top 10 support heroes. Because there's 10 support heroes and I mainly play support. Now this isn't necessarily how good I think they are. Well, it is how good I think they are, but also how fun they are as well. So there may be slight variations where you think, well, that character isn't really played highly in competitive or like high-end ranking matches, and it's basically because I still find that character fun. So anyway, let's get into the video with number 10, Illari. Okay, so I'm still learning this character. I've actually played a lot of matches, a lot more than number 9 and number 8 spot, and even number 7. But still, I don't particularly find this character very effective. Their healing it's a mixed bag. So they have a healing pylon, which also helps out with the healing, but it gets easily targeted and you have to place it very well. And when a match is moving a lot, you sort of have to want to reposition it, but if they damage it or destroy it, you have to wait 12 seconds before you get a pylon up. The pylon's fine, it does like a little bit healing every couple of seconds, and then also Illari has a gun which the right click heals, but that gets run out really quickly. So in a situation where your pylon's destroyed and the enemy team is just rushing you with damage, you can't really do too much healing. Immediately you run out of healing and you're just like, okay, what do I do? Well, you can shoot. You have to charge up your shot. It's automatically charges up rather quickly, a couple of seconds, but you can't like rapid fire. And the ulti is okay. When it goes, but most of the time, because you hover up in the air, you easily get targeted and can get shot out of the air. Sometimes I do it. It mainly hits the tank. I'm trying to hit some healers, and you got to get the shot on to destroy them. Otherwise, they're just like, oh, I just got hit by this. This is a slight inconvenience. I mean, to be fair, when I've gotten hit by the ulti, when I'm playing, like, I feel like 70% of the time, I'm just like, okay, just gonna go by this corner now and completely be fine. Okay, yep, no. Movement-wise, they have a pushback ability, and like they can push themselves forward, push themselves back away from the enemy. I quite like the attacking animation, the fist animation, where it's just a swipe of the sword. That's cool, but overall it's just, I don't feel like the healing's that good. You need the pylon to boost up the healing. You run out of heals just on your main gun way too quickly. The ulti doesn't feel like a super clutch ulti. It feels like it's an ulti in combination with other stuff. So overall, I'm just like not impressed. Number 9, Mercy. Okay, I feel like Mercy is highly overrated. I had a game where the tank was like, can someone please go Mercy? And we all went, why? And they went, because they heal. That's worrying because the tank is like, oh my god, I'm just so bad, I need healers all the time. But also they kind of underestimate the support class, like what it could mean to get, I don't know, a speed boost, some other stuff as well, maybe putting people to sleep, more on that later. But it kind of just shows that most people just think, I want more heals, and they think Mercy is like the best healer. No, there's a character later on that can basically out-heal Mercy, and a lot of characters, if you're decent enough, can out-heal Mercy. Basically, Mercy is just point and click at a character to heal them, and then you can right click to output damage. But the issue is you can't like do a lot of healing at once. You can't like target multiple people, which is the issue of some. But with Illari, that we just covered, I can easily just move my gun and it will automatically start hitting whoever I pointed at. With Mercy, you have to kind of detach your healing and then reattach it to someone else. And sometimes when two people are quite close together, you can attach to the wrong person. The ability to revive a teammate is, I think, very overvalued. Basically, it's kind of one of those moves where if you use it, you're either winning, so it's not necessarily, or you're losing and it's completely pointless. So, for example, let's say you're defending a and you're pushing this team back, and one of the team managed to kill somebody. You pick up that person again. Congratulations, you're still pushing them back whether you had that person or not. But let's just say the team's pushing you, and they've wiped out a couple of your people. So let's say there's 3 of you left. You revive the person. They've noticed you're reviving, so they all focus on you. And there's a good chance they're just going to wipe you out as you revive. Or if you do revive, it's just you on whatever you revived, and you're probably going to get wiped out. It's not like, oh my god, this is going to save the game or win us the game. It's sort of like, well, if I'm winning, it's going to help out a lot. If we're losing, it's not going to help out at all. Mercy's movements are very much like you got to click at somebody and just fly over to them. It's fine. It gets you out of certain situations, but it's very like slow. If you're good at tracking, you can easily wipe her out. The ulti is just essentially her regular healing and regular damage boost, but to multiple people. It's not really a clutch move. There's a lot of characters that can instantly clutch up and do massive amount of healing or save everybody's life. And Mercy just doesn't really have that. It's just simply, I think people use Mercy because Mercy's like sort of like the beginning healer. Feels very much like the medic from Team Fortress 2, where it just boosts damage, boosts healing. There you go. Definition of support. Heal, boost. But her toolset is very basic, and I think people overvalue the reviving. Most of the time, people are going to come out anyway, and other characters will be able to boost heal, so that wouldn't really happen. But anyway, Mercy, kind of overrated, kind of boring to play. Point and click. Not really my style. And you can go battle mode and start pew-pewing everybody if you really want to. Just go behind the back lines and just shoot some people with your gun. It does decent damage, but let's face it, people are just going to be annoyed and want you to heal. And there's other healers who can do more healing than you and a hell of a lot more damage. Number 8, Life Weaver. Alright, this is another one this is one I really have not put too much time into. I've kind of put it higher than Alari and Mercy because when I can go and pop off, it feels good. Life Weaver is interesting because the healing isn't that great on paper or on face value. It's sort of everything else they can do. So they have a self-heal where if they jump and dash, they can heal. They have the platform that you can lift up you can essentially lift up your team and get out of situations. So I've seen them, I've done it and seen other people do it where they get people out of a range of an ult for like a D.Va ult or a Junkrat ult. Anybody's ult, they can just pick the whole team up. Great, there you go. They can give other DPS characters a vantage point. They can give themselves a vantage point. They're shooting. They have a lot of ammo for their attack. Rapid fire works very well with Bastille's like massive grid pattern. And the Tree of Life, or the the Tree of Life, let's call it, is interesting. Now, originally, it just feels kind of purpose because it just increases healing and health, but you can still completely get wiped out if you do it. But which is true, but you can also block off paths, you can block off doors, you can seal people away. It's sort of like a ice wall, but it's more permanent, has a lot more health, and it also boosts the team as it's going along. The E ability, the main gimmick of pulling people out, is great because you can pull out a tank, you can pull out a DPS, you can get somebody to help you out. Most of the time, it feels like you've either done it too late or you've done it way too early, and the tank's gotten annoyed because they're like, hey, I actually know how to maintain my health, and I was going to do a move where I could, heal up and get some heals and do some damage and kill them. But most of the time, it's a pretty nice, oh shit, you're low, get out. Which makes Life Weaver a lot more interesting to play than the other two, or especially Mercy. Mercy just feels like it's point and click, and there you go, you heal. Okay, this next slot is kind of, I guess, this next 3 or 4. They're all sort of change their place as and when how I feel during a match or a game or a session or a week. So take it with a pinch of salt. But number 7 is Bridget, Mini Ryan. I haven't played too much of them. It's a very interesting mechanic of having to do damage just to get your aura heal. You do have an ability where you can throw a little potion and that heals people and you get 3 of them. And you can do it within you can do just throw it so you've got some range on it. Otherwise, you've got to be in this like field near Bridget. But you should be kind of like pushing with your tank, trying to get some damage. But if you're not getting the damage, you're not getting the heals. I'm kind of annoyed that the shield, you get a shield. The shield bash just does damage. It doesn't still until you do your ultimate. More on that later. But it's kind of nice having a weapon that isn't a gun. You know, it's good thing about Overwatch is not everybody has a gun, so you get to use like a hammer. I like the left shift where it has an extended range, which can push people. I think I've only gotten 1 kill with actually pushing somebody off the edge of a map. There's a shot of it on my channel. But overall, it's fun because you got to be a bit more aggressive and more controlling. And, you know, you've got the shield to help save some players sometimes. But it's not as big as Ryan's. It's only like, I think it's like 250. Maybe not even that shield. But when you ulti, the rally to me, when you shield bash, hold down your shield and then I think it's like shift or something, right click. No, it's not right click. Something. I think it's spacebar. Right? I don't know what I'm saying. When you shield bash, it actually stuns enemies. It extends your shield range, gives it more health, and also increases your healing. So Bridge is interesting where you have to be a bit more aggressive to get the boost in healing, but it can really pay off because at some games you're just going to be right up in everybody's face, just whacking them all with your tank, and you're just going to be like, I am hitting you all. I am at max healing capacity, so I am just healing everything and everyone who's in my sphere, and we're just kicking ass. But it's really dependent on how good you are, how bad the other team is, and how good your tank is, and when you can actually do that. Because most of the time, it just feels like you're just putting a shield up and you're like, I want to hit you, but you've just gotten too far away. And then the Widow just takes you out from the side. Number 6. Zenyatta. Now, Zen was like my go-to healer back in Overwatch 1. Well, technically, so was Mercy. It was just switch up between those two because Mercy ult-res was just so good. But Zen was like the first DPS healer. Basically, you throw an orb on someone. It doesn't do too much healing. The whole point is it just heals slowly. It heals a bit over time, sort of like when they're out of DPS, out of damage. You know, when the character starts naturally healing, it's just a bit faster in that and starts as soon as they take damage. And you kind of have to be, if you're focused on healing, you kind of have to be in the back line and just like throwing orbs at different people. The orb isn't a clutch heal. It's sort of just a top-off heal. Like, hey, tank, I'm going to throw in you. You can go a bit more damage. Oh, no, this person needs heal. The person needs to know that once they've got the orb, they can't push too much. They still need to back out and wait for it to heal them. It's not like, oh, my God, I'm getting so much life. The E, I mean, the other orb, the damaging orb, is really good on the enemy. It just makes them take a lot more damage. Perfect for the team to kind of focus fire on them and destroy them. It's great for like making tanks a lot weaker, but really you're putting it on the DPS or the healer and just completely one-shotting you. Zenyatta does some decent damage with the ranged attack. Charging it up does massive amount of damage. It's pretty much like a one-shot move for like a lot of the DPS and healers. Or support, I should say. I should stop saying healers. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and obviously ulti pretty much means everybody's not going to die. The issue is a lot of the time you either do it too early and it's just not impacted the game at all, or you do it too late and everybody's dead. But there are the times where you pop it off correctly. The issue is it just sort of makes everybody in the zone immune, but that's about it, because the enemy can still kind of position, get ready, charge up their attacks. You've got to make sure other people are killing because you're just essentially out of the fight. And as soon as you go back in, people are still like, now going to take damage. Overall, I just like Zen kicking people. He's sort of like the one where you'll want to challenge when you're doing your damage. He's not as easy as some other DPS support characters, but it's a fun time. The orbs don't heal a lot, but the E ability, the negative orb, does massively help. That's why he's like a support character, because you're supporting your team by giving them a slight heal, but also making the enemy a lot weaker. He's debuffing them, as it were. And honestly, like, he was my go-to guy in Overwatch 1, and he's okay in Overwatch 2. I didn't play much of Overwatch 1, okay? I think I played when it first came out for a couple of months, and so a lot of the characters that came in later that are in Overwatch 2, I'm like, oh, I didn't know they were in Overwatch 1. I stopped playing by then. Number 5. Ana. Interesting one. Haven't played too much as Ana. So they use a sniper. Now you can go off scope and do a bit of healing. Everything is like dots with Ana. Damage over time, but also damage over healing. So if you're not aiming down a sight, it does a little bit of damage over time. If you're shooting your teammates, it does a little bit homing over time, so you have to kind of aim with them. But Ana's toolkit is what's interesting. Obviously, if you go aim down the scope, you can do a bit more damage, which is great. It's very good to, like, useful for when you're doing team fights where two of you are fighting an enemy and you just do dots, so they're still taking a little bit of damage, and then the other teammate can either finish them off or you essentially finish them off because they're like, oh, I'm fine, and they're still taking damage. What do I even call it? Like, grenade thing does burst healing, which is fantastic in case your teammate's low and you just need to burst heal everyone. But it also negatives, it like debuffs the enemy team, so they take a lot more damage, which is great because you'll basically heal your team, or you can make the enemy team take more damage. And then finally, you've got the sleep gun. It's great for interrupting ults. It's great for just interrupting people. You can take somebody out the fight for 5 seconds. If you don't shoot them, you can just leave them alone, or you put them to sleep, interrupt them, and then maybe somebody else who can do a lot of damage in one go can just finish them off. Then you have the ulti, like the nano boost, which I think I've used once on a Genji, and they completely panicked and was like, oh my god, I don't... Too much pressure. Put it on a tank, and then they can take a lot more damage, but they can also do a lot more damage. It's essentially just go in there, you're buffed up, destroy everything. I don't need to worry about you for a few seconds or worry about the rest of the team. Okay, nano boosters run out, I'll start healing you. I like Anne. Sit on the back lines, shoot some people, and then a Sombra comes up and you're just like, please don't hack me, please don't hack me. Oh god, I'm out the hack. And hopefully you can negative them or boost healing you. A lot of fun. Number 4. Baptiste. So when I started, or at the start of Overwatch 2, when I played for like a week, Baptiste was like my main healer. And I kind of stopped and moved away to other healers, but then eventually came back to Baptiste. Baptiste is great. He's sort of like the anti-flying character because, you know, support can do DPS as well, and you're going to be doing a lot of DPS. You're going to be taking out Pharahs, Echoes, anybody in the sky. Obviously, it uses burst shots for damage, I'm talking about, and then he also has the grenade that shoots a grenade that can heal, does a little bit of healing. Then he has the shift, which does an area of healing everybody around you and does like a nice boost. But his main thing is the immortality field, which can come in clutch. It can save you from ults, it can save some team members from dying, and most of the time I miss with it, and it's just so annoying, and sometimes it comes in super clutch and you're able to push. Baptiste is great, his versatility is great. He also has a super high jump. If you hold down control and then jump, he just shoots up into the air, so you can get some nice range with him. His ultimate is like the perfect support thing because it basically creates a field where it auto aims on everyone. So think Soldier 76, but not as good, but everybody's allowed to use it. So if you have a load of heroes who like using guns and don't want to auto aim, or have a rapid fire like a Bastion, Diva, Soldier, you know, they just stand behind there and they can all just start blasting everybody. It's great. Like, just Baptiste is just real fun if you just want to play shooter. You want to play a traditional shooter character who can also heal. You're throwing grenades, which are healing. It's great. It's all fun. Yeah, the grenades don't do too much health, but the immortality shield can come in clutch. The ulti is just a great way to do a lot of damage for everybody. And the shift heal, you heal everybody. He's just great. He's all around good support. Just all around good support, and I just have a lot of fun. Number 3, Moira. Okay, so if you want to get a friend into playing Overwatch, or you're moving from controller to keyboard, Moira is the character for you because you don't need to aim. Listen, Moira is basically DPS healer heaven because you can essentially just spray and pray and heal everybody, and the heals are very decent. In the match I was mentioning where somebody asked me to go Mercy, I was playing with Moira, and we completely dominated because I was able to heal, I was able to do damage. You have the healing orb, which I feel like not a lot of people use. It's a very great tool because you can use it to, it creates an orb, it can latch onto somebody and just basically heal them. Or if you look down, use the healing orb, it latches onto you and you can survive for a lot longer, which is perfect in certain situations where you're either trying to escape or you're trying to out-damage somebody and they can do a lot of damage to you, but now you've got the healing orb, you're like, I'm fine. Because as much as you don't really need to aim with your damage, you too takes ages to kill somebody. So your attack is like, I've just got to follow you for 5 minutes. I don't need to aim, I just need to follow you for 5 minutes and then I'll eventually kill you. But yeah, the spray is great because you can just, if you've got a number of teammates in front of you, you can spray them. Orb is just going to pick somebody and you can heal them in area. More shift ability is like, movement is, it's just like the best get out of jail free card ever. You shift, you're immune, you go invisible to the enemy and you can just fly out. You can also shift and jump, and your jump is extremely high, so you can get out, you can change your level of terrain, go into a higher plane, or just jump further. It's just great. Ryan's trying to knock you back. Oh no, I shifted out of there. Oh no, sorry. Junkrat's tires trying to get you. Oh, shift out of there. Great. The only issue is Moira's burst healing isn't there. And her ulti is basically, I just do damage and heal at the same time, which is probably why she's better than some other characters, Mercy, in that regard, because you can just stand behind people and heal them, or just look at a low bunch of, their backline and just destroy them. It's not, the massive amount of damage and the massive amount of healing, but it's good enough because it can multi-heal a number of people. But you're not really supporting your team. You're basically there as a healer. You're kind of like, I'm going to heal you, but I'm also just going to go damage. Then I'm going to come back to heal you, but I'm also just going to go off and do damage, and then I'm going to come back to heal you. Oh no, you're taking way too much damage. Sorry, even with my healing orb, you're probably dead. But you don't need to aim, which is it's great because you could just run around and just not aim and just kill everybody, and you get 30 kills, and you're like, I mean, what do you want? I got 10k healing and 10k damage, and I got 30 kills. What do you want? Number 2, Kiriko. So you just throw pieces of paper at people and it heals them. Yeah, you could just throw, you basically stand in the back line, throwing pieces of paper, and then you spend most of your time just throwing your kunai. You need to really aim with the kunai, and then it feels so satisfying to kill somebody halfway across the map, or just on the other side of the area, or point or objective, and you're just like, oh hi Zen, dead. Kiriko's fun, can climb walls, great movement. Movement ability is teleport. It has a bit of a long cooldown. I think they've reduced the cooldown, but you can basically teleport to a hero ally, and then teleport to another one. So sometimes it's very useful to teleport, heal somebody really quick, and then teleport out. Sometimes she does have the cleansing pot, which is really great because it removes status ailments like burning and Zenyatta's negative orb and Anne's negative stuff. It just removes that and does burst healing, so it's a very good clutch save if you can hit it, because sometimes somebody can just walk in front of you, like another teammate, you hit them, they get cleansed, and the tank you wanted to heal was dead now, and you're like, great. Her ulti, the kunai, the Kitsune trail thing, Kitsune Gates increases everybody's attack speed. So if you've got a load of people who fire, Farahs, your Bastions, whoever, they're just going to be rapid firing. You can rapid fire, you can massively quickly heal. Kiriko's just great all-round support. You can just like do some damage, go heal somebody, do some damage, teleport someone else, play cleanse pot, heal them up, go around, do some damage. Kiriko's just great to move around with, just attack. Does very decent healing. Yeah, you just need to basically look at somebody. That is the issue. If they're behind a wall, they're not getting heals. Some of the other healers can do like area of heals, and it ignores the wall. You know, you have Moira who can throw a ball and that can bounce in there and probably pick them up. Kiriko, you basically need to be looking at the hero you want to heal, and if there's something in the way, they ain't getting it. But overall, it's just like running around, damage is fine. Yeah, just a fun hero. And the ulti really can help out a team push through a lot of damage. Doesn't necessarily win a team fight, but you know, it's mainly because most people don't use it and they just start standing to the side of it, and you're like, guys, I literally just increased you. It's pointing at the enemy. It's pointing at the point. Just come along the path, right? You get extra fire, right? You should be able to destroy anything in your way. And it's just usually me on it, just throwing kunai and just going, okay. No, it's fine, I got this. Number 1. Lucio. Okay, I may have said earlier that like Sin was like one of the main ones I played in Overwatch 1, along with Mercy. There was also Lucio. My god. This hero. This support character. Just too goddamn good. So, thing with a lot of like early on Lucio players, including myself, is you mainly just stick to the heal mode and you just stand by your team. And then you start eventually experimenting with speed boost. And then you start realizing that you can basically bop into the enemy team, bop out, go to your team, heal them up, go back into the enemy team, or stay near your team. They all get a speed boost. They can run in there, do some extra damage, and then most of them don't really understand that you can like speed out of a situation. Like, hey guy, look, there's just me and you right now. There's just 2 of us. We need to get out of this situation. Let's leave. And they're like, oh no, I got a Lucio. He could heal me. It's not how that works. You also have like the E, which boosts either the amount of healing your ability does, and the amount of speed boost buff you get. You also, obviously, these abilities have an area, so as long as your people are in the area, they also get it. It's great. You're just basically running on walls, booping people. The boop on the tanks has been nerfed or buffed, so basically you can't push tanks as much as you used to. After Lucio got a massive buff to push people, it's great when it works, but I feel like a lot of people are very cautious of Lucio and the booping. So a lot of the time, the boopage for me is just, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to boop you against the wall, or you're low on health. I don't really want to have to aim for this last bit of health. Boop. But yeah, Lucio is great because if you ulti, you're pretty much winning the team fight. Everybody gets extra health, some extra shield. It's great. It's often used as like a clutch early on for like when someone's ulting or doing massive amount of damage to save people. But a lot of the time you can just be like, oh, we're a little bit low on health, or we're halfway on health, right? Everybody gets boosted. Go absolutely destroy them as long as people are in the area. And just like Lucio's movement is so much fun. Like I said, Kiriko can run on walls, but Lucio, you're bouncing off buildings. You're running around in buildings. I don't know if any other healer has the same kind of movement feel, because I've seen like Genji can run up walls and like jump. But Lucio is like wall running everywhere. He can literally run into the enemy's backlines and just do some damage, and then you can run back out. He's just so much fun. But of course, since his movement and his speed is so high, you need to have like be paying attention, and sometimes, you know, it can be just overwhelming because you're just like going back and forth and you need to concentrate on everything. You're like, boop, 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 boop. Okay, I need to make sure, oh, I'm low in health. I've got to switch between, I've got to get out. So I'm on green, but I'm taking damage. I need to go to yellow to heal, and then I need to go back to green. And obviously, I need to make sure my teammates are healing and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just so much fun. Just boop, do damage. His gun has decent range. The healing radius is not too bad, to be fair. They could probably make it smaller and I still wouldn't care, but please don't. That's not a suggestion. If anything, just nerf the boop a little bit, and then you can nerf the tank's pushback resistance. But I choose this. Like, Lucio is just so much fun. Like, honestly, I feel like some people don't underestimate how good Lucio is, because a lot of time he doesn't do that much healing on the stats, but he's speed boosting you. He's making you move faster, shoot faster. What do you understand it? He's doing that for you? Like, that doesn't show. It doesn't show when he's just like super like boosting your attack and stuff, and like giving you extra shield and stuff. It basically, the only thing they can see is he's healing and he's doing this much damage. But you know, Lucio can like pretty much kill a lot of people really quickly in a team fight, especially if a lot of the heroes are weak and they're running away, which is what they should do. Lucio could chase and pretty much finish them all. And a lot of time when you need Lucio on the point, he's just going to be running around and be a slight pain if the enemy doesn't have the greatest of tracking. But yeah, that was my list. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, if you disagree and agree. Let me know your favorite support character in Overwatch 2. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
Morse. Marvelous. Together on the track. Let's go. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, sus.